Hey everyone, and welcome to the All Elite Zone Canada, as they say in Canada, AEZ. We are here for our episode 20 of AEZ Canada. Episode 20. We will be normally we do a Dynamite review. That's what we've been doing, and then we go into a different topic. But tonight it's gonna be a little bit different, or this afternoon when you'll be seeing this. We're going to be doing a AEW Worlds End predictions video, or yeah, video. And then at the end we got a little something extra because every episode we try to do our AEW stuff. Then at the end something a little different. We did like the Attitude Era the first time, then we did something else last week. Uh, yeah, and then I want to introduce the panel we got today. We got Siren. She's been on our live reactions, Talking Elites, and also a member of AEZ Canada. We also have the second time. Is it your second time on? I believe you were on for Talking Elite.
Yep, this is my second time. Hello.
First time on AEZ Canada. We got Paul. He's going to be talking a little something at the end. Yeah, we got Paul.
So
yeah,
I'll just be quiet for the beginning part for you then.
yeah. Thank you both for coming on.
No problem.
Unfortunately, Matt couldn't join us, but he'll be. We'll see him later in the episode. Yeah, we're going to be running down the card for AEW World's End. We're going to start off with the 0 hour and work our way up to the bigger matches. So yeah, I'm not going to go in any particular order, but the two matches for 0 hour confirmed is the first one is Hook defending his FTW championship in a FTW rules match versus Wheeler Yuta. We saw an FTW rules match at All In against Jack Perry. It's basically just a hardcore match. Basically, I feel it was created in ECW, so it kind of fits FTW rules. Who do you guys got winning this match?
I want Hook to win. I mean, I don't know. When it comes to Yuta, I feel like he's lost a little steam for me. And I know that they like when it's the three of them out there, they always like, oh, Yuta got the pin, go Yuta, like and they talk about him all the time, even when he's not out there. Like they mention him in his promos, or in their promos and stuff. So it's always like Yuta, and I just I had a big like heart on for him a while ago, but I just think it's lost traction for me. And I love Hook. So and now that Danhausen's back, I mean Hookhausen, I'm excited for that. I just really hope that Hook gets pushed.
My turn?
Yeah, and you, Paul. Yeah.
I like okay, so it's a little bit hard for me to say who's gonna win. I'm just gonna go like my gut feeling on who I would want, and I'm gonna say Yuta. I just for some reason I feel like Hook and Danhausen have like they're great where they are in the lower bit of the card, but I still for some reason I'm one of those weirdos that think Yuta has something, and I still want to see that something. So part of me is like, give him the ball, let him run a little bit. I know we've seen it before, and it's not the best, but people can correct their mistakes, and cross my fingers, right? Like I feel like there's something there, and I just want to kind of see it pop. But yeah, that's all I'm going off of, just that instinct of like I just want to see Yuta do good.
Yeah, I like both Wheeler Yuta and Hook. This one, I really think that they need to move the FTW title away from Hook and possibly even retire that belt because I don't know long term how much they can do with that. I wish they'd do an option C, kind of like what Samoa Joe did with the ROH Television Championship and Hook win the TNT title or the because he's improved a lot, Hook, which he really hasn't had to improve because in his first match he looked like he's been wrestling for years, and then he's only wrestling for like a year or two now, Hook. But this much I'm gonna go. I like both of them. I'm gonna go Hook. I know they've been feuding for the past few weeks. But I'm gonna go Hook for this one. I wouldn't be mad if Wheeler Yuta won. I really like Wheeler Yuta. He is still young. He's still improving on the mic, and he's pretty decent in the ring. I always thought he was really good in the ring, but he's got a lot of room to grow. Yeah, I got Wheeler Yuta. Got two. No, I got Hook, not Wheeler Yuta. I said Hook. So we got two Hooks and one Wheeler Yuta. After that match, the only other 0 hour match so far confirmed is the 20-man battle royal. The winner will determine a new number one contender for the TNT Championship. We know later in the card we got a TNT Championship match we'll get into later, but I have no idea who's going to be in this. I thought Bryan Danielson may would have been in this, but he's going to be in a four-way tag match later on. So who do you guys think might would be in this? Because it seems like a lot of big names are taken up in other matches.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that too. I was going through the card and I'm like, well, we got like all of Blackpool on here. We got our Bullet Club Gold, like the guns. No, I'm just I don't know.
The only one
No,
I
you
think-
do. Yeah, you do make a point there because we don't have a lot of like. Where's the Acclaimed? Where's a lot of more
tag team.
tag teams that don't have a big program going? You could fill the 20-man battle royal with something silly, something fun. Like where's Jeff Jarrett? I see Jay
probably.
Lethal's on the card, but it's like where are guys like that where it's like just go out, do your shtick, make everybody laugh, because not to get too ahead of ourselves, but there's a lot of serious matches on this card.
Yeah.
So if they opened the show with a big old silly, not comedy match, but something fresh and energetic, then get into lads hurting each other.
Commander. Just because I want to see the rope run.
Yeah, we're like if the luchas aren't on the card, there's a good
There
6,
is,
7
yeah.
guys.
I was thinking like one big name that's not on the card is Hangman, but I don't know if they want to bring him back because what happened when he last appeared with the devil thing. I don't know if they want to do that. Because I feel like we'll get into that later, but I feel like we're gonna get the devil at World's End, and it's gonna be, I'll just say AC, and then we're gonna get AC versus Hangman 3. But I don't know. I mean, Claudio's taken up. I mean, you got guys like the Acclaim, Dark Order, Jeff Jarrett. You could put in there.
I would love to see Johnny Hungy in there. Just because
Yeah,
I
lot
love
of-
to see
yeah,
and his whole like I'm freaking jacked baby that he's got going on right now. I dig it.
Well, personally, I want to see Mike Santana win and him beat Christian Cage because Christian Cage always does the father stuff. Well, Mike Santana's father really did die in real life, so that would be a good story. Him actually winning because Mike Santana's been really pushing a singles run. I feel like he would be a good TNT champion. We don't really know many people who's going to be in that match because this card's really, really stacked with a lot of big names.
Well, we can jump ahead just a tiny bit because the TNT championship match is later, and the people who are in it might help us figure out who might be winning or who is in it.
Yeah. We can kick off the main show with the TNT championship, which is champion Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland in a no DQ match, I believe, or false count anywhere or no DQ, something like that.
No DQ.
It says no DQ on this card I have here. Yeah.
Personally, I'm going for Christian Cage. I don't want to see him lose the title yet. I love Edge, but I still think Christian Cage is too hot to lose it yet.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah, no, but I would love to see the follow from that. This is what we were talking about before with the whole lady friend appearance. I think would be really cool. Right, like just because like this would be the time, like if it was going to happen, I was thinking this would be it, which would be really super cool. So that's what I'm hoping for this match. Like at this point, who wins is less interesting to me than if she shows up. I'm curious.
Hey, I don't think Paul knows our thing that we talked about. Why don't you explain what we?
I would love to be part of an inside joke one day.
An inside joke? Oh, were you? I don't know if you were here. Yeah, we were just talking about how it would be a really solid time for Beth Phoenix to appear.
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad name too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, what do they call her now? Mother Wayne. I love that. By the way, I love that.
Mother Wayne.
And there's a good character in that tough mother, like. Because there's like, I want to say there was like Jackie and TNA. She also had that vibe where she was very motherly, but she was like you're terrified of her at the same, like, do what she says or
It's like
she will
most
whoop you.
mothers.
Yeah, but when they have that physical dominating build at the same time, it's that extra scary.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
She can throw that sandal an extra 50 meters, okay? It's
Yeah, like for prediction wise, I mean, I think it would be great if Christian kept it. Not that I'm like, oh yeah, daddy of the year or anything. But he just has so much momentum. He's so hot right now. There is so much heat. And but yeah, I think that would be really cool if Beth showed up.
yeah, I think it would definitely, if Christian lost, I feel like it would hurt him more than if, the other way around. I feel like Adam can lose this and Christian can stay. He's that dominating heel. Let him continue to be vicious.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens, in a couple months, and if it blows off then, or
Yeah. So we all got Christian for that. I'd like to see him put over a younger talent. Him like someone beating him for that. Uh, yeah. Going on next. I'm gonna go with a wild card match. We haven't seen this feud pick up in a while. They just resumed it. Rampage some on Dynamite. They confirmed it. Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee. This has been a long, long, long feud that doesn't seem to end. But maybe we're going to get the rubber match. I don't know. This feud's been everywhere. We had Rick Ross in it. We had a guy off the street. Then we had Parker. Then we had Prince Nana was in it at one time. Then we had everybody in this feud. But
I have a feeling these lads love each other in real life.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling. They're like, what do you want to do? Put me with Keith Lee again? Yes, please.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's like the two kids in class. You're like, keep them separated. Do not let them sit together.
Yeah,
but they are phenomenal together. I have to.
Yeah, I was there for I was actually there when they beat the Acclaim at All Out 2022, and everyone wanted the Acclaim to win. It was a really good match. They're a good team, man, against each other. But yeah, this match I'm gonna go for Swerve Strickland. I think he has a lot of momentum. He lost on Wednesday, so I really don't think he needs to lose again. But I wouldn't be mad if Keith Lee won, but personally, I'm going Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first. Oh, wait, I'm in the middle anyway.
Yeah, you might as well keep the order.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Keith, and not because I think that Swerve like should take a loss right now at all. I'm just really happy that Keith is back, and it's so nice to see him in the ring again, and it makes me smile, and I would love to see him win. You guys will get to know this throughout podcasts in the future. I choose these predictions with my heart a lot, not with what should happen. There are times where I'm like, I'm calling it, and I'm calling it because I see it happening. But then there are others where it's like, I want this. So yeah, I would to see Keith Lee win. Just because I love Keith Lee, I'm so happy he's back. But yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Swerve because I feel like they're trying to put him in that S class of wrestlers that they have. Like he's just making it now, but they want him there, and I kind of want him there too.
He deserves it.
He 100% does.
He does.
But he's not. It's like it feels like a technicality. Where if you say, okay, who are all the like Goku level talents in AEW? As soon as they say Swerve, there's one guy gonna go, yeah. But if they give him these big wins, they give him these massive stories and all this attention, it's like he's going to be there. Just give that little bit of time, and he's going to be up there with Mox and Brian and all that.
Very true.
Yeah, Swerve seems to be on a roll here lately. Picking up 2 wins over Hangman, winning almost every match in the Continental Classic. He's been has a lot of momentum behind him. Next up, we have a match that he's been going on Collision a lot. Andrade El Idolo versus Miro. These two have been going at it on Collision as Miro's wife in real life is Andrade's client. But this match is really hard for me to say who I want to win because I really like Miro. And I really like Andrade. Andrade had a really good showing in the Continental Classic against Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia and a lot of these matches. But I also like Miro. I love his character. I love his promos. I love his in-ring work. So I kind of want it to be a draw because I don't want to pick between the two guys. But yeah, I can't pick between these two guys. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with Andrade to win this.
I'm actually going to agree with you. And the reason that I'm going to agree with you is I feel like I've gotten a little lost with Miro's Redeemer line right now. And like, not that I don't love him. I love him. I do. I got so confused. He was like, you know, with the God, and then he was the God, then he was against the God, and now I'm like, okay. And so I feel like getting maybe shook up a little bit by Andrade, like his wife's new client kind of thing, will maybe hopefully put a little bit of like perspective, and we'll get like a more straightforward Miro storyline. And I would really love that because I miss him and I miss his intense promos. And like I said, I feel like, I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I feel a little lost right now with Miro. And I love him and I really want him back to being like that top for me. And I feel like he needs to take the loss to get there. So that's me though.
Yeah, no, it's I can definitely agree with that because it gives it'll. If he comes in, he just bullies through everything. Then what kind of feud is that? But if he's got to fight his way, I don't know. It's hard for me because I have mixed feelings. I look at this match and it's hard for me to choose because all I think is this is going to be the dice roll match. This is either going to be the best match on the show by far, or it's going to be the one that everyone goes, we don't talk about that one too much. I don't know why. There's like a weird electricity where it's like these guys are either going to click perfectly or just it's going to fumble and something because they're both immensely talented and they both like trying new things. So hopefully they're trying a thing that works. You know what I mean? I'm not blaming people for trying stuff. Sometimes it just doesn't click. For some reason, when I see these two, I worry. I'm like, oh, I hope it clicks. I hope it just works.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I'm just gonna go on instinct, I'm gonna say Miro wins just because he's a big, meaty man.
He's so meaty.
big meat.
Yeah, I'm glad to see both of these guys back in AEW regularly. Yeah. Going off that match, we got a 4-way tag match that really got put together Wednesday. We were supposed to get a tag team match for the tag titles, but Kenny Omega is out, obviously. So we're not getting that, but we got a 4-way, or 8-man tag. We have Sting, Darby, Jericho, and Sammy versus Big Bill, Starks, and the Don Callis family. It was supposed to be Kyle Fletcher and Hobbs, but they took out Kyle Fletcher and they've put in Nakeshita. So maybe Kyle Fletcher's in that battle royal. I don't know.
That'd be nifty.
Yeah. I don't know. I got Sting and them winning, obviously, because I don't think Sting's losing. Going in the Revolution, he's not losing. So I got Sting. Team Sting.
Heck yes, I am so there for that. That is, yeah, captain of that boat, toot toot. For sure. And I mean, I think it's really cool to see Sammy back, and I'm really excited to have him brought in this type of match. I think it's going to be cool. I am very, 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 very bummed out, as everybody knows, about the whole Golden Jets. I really wanted the Golden Jets to happen. I wanted it to happen so bad. My little Canadian heart was like, please. But like I get it, and I really do wish Kenny the best and the most quickest recovery ever, and I hope that he is okay. But yeah, I'm definitely team Sting for sure. I would have been team Golden Jets. Like
See, the 80s baby in me is going to be very upset because I'm going to have to go against Sting. For some reason, I just see Takeshita, Hobbs, and Starks, and I just see stars. So it's like, oh, I just like going off of instinct. Those those three are gonna win.
Two people are teaming together that hate each other: Ricky Starks and Hobbs.
I'm not a big fan of Hobbs myself, so
I like Hobbs. He's one of those guys that I see potential in, but it's just never kind of worked. But
This is the first time we've seen them together since Team Taz broke up. Ricky Starks.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
curious
been
to
a
see
hot
that.
minute.
They've
Curious
feuded
to
for
see
a
that
while.
interaction, or even if they acknowledge that at all, which they
I
should.
hope they do.
They
Yeah,
should, because it's obvious that they hated each other. Because we've seen the matches, they bled together.
But they could do that whole gimmick where they like, look, they know they don't like each other, but they also know that they work well together. So maybe they'll work together in the match, and then as the match goes on, they eventually break down. But at the beginning, they're like, okay, we're calm, we're collected, we're cool. Just keep them away from me.
Hey, that could be what causes them the match. You never know.
Plus, we can always get Sammy take the pin, and that doesn't hurt Sting in any way, right?
I could see
Sammy
Sammy
just
taking
got
the pin.
back. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Out
that's
of all
true.
of them, I definitely could see Sammy taking the pin.
I know Sting's not taking the pin. He's not.
No, he's gonna get pinned once in the next 6 months, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Yeah. This match should be really good. It's just Sting's final pay-per-view of 2023.
Excited.
Well, obviously it's going to be because the years are ending.
Yeah.
Either way, if he was going to retire or not.
I'm just thinking about it. I think this is going to be the more traditional 8-man tag, because looking at the other 8-man tag, I feel like that one's going to be the wild, out of control.
That's chaos, right?
That's going to be chaos. But this one that we're
fun.
talking about with Jericho and Sting and Takeshita, I think that one's going to be a little bit more contained, a little bit more controlled. Not too, even though Darby's in there, it's going to be a little bit more traditional, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of the other 8-man tag, we're going to that now. All these competitors were in the AEW Continental Classic. That was a tournament that corresponded across Dynamite, Collision, and a little bit of Rampage. At the Gold League and the Blue League, which we had the finals of that tournament on the card. We'll get into that after this match, but this 8-man tag consists of Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, Mark Briscoe, and Daniel Garcia versus Brody King, Jay White, Roosh, and Jay Lethal. This match, all competitors from the Continental Classic, and I believe it's Blue Team versus Gold Team. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And just looking at the graphic, I think it's funny that I think Daniel Garcia is the only one here that doesn't have
a win.
15, 20 plus years of experience. All these guys have been there forever. And he's the like sad little rookie in the front. Like, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
I'd be going against Danielson, Briscoe, Garcia, Roosh, and Jay White. Like, Angelito, that says a lot. Like, you're the youngest guy in there with all these veterans. I got Danielson, Claudio, and Briscoe and Garcia winning this. I think they're going to win this. I don't see how Bryan Danielson loses. That's who I got.
I'm super stoked for this, actually, because I think that's really cool that they just had that like whole FTR and Mark with, Blackpool Combat Club showdown recently, and I think this is going to be really neat to see the follow-up. I hope it goes well. I really do. Yeah, I have Team Briscoe for sure. And I mean, like, I really, really, really love Jay Lethal, and I really, really, really want to see more of Jay Lethal, but until he gets away from Jeff Jarrett, I just don't foresee that happening in a way that is going to make him shine. But yeah, I for this one definitely Blackpool, Garcia, and Briscoe. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, this is definitely a hard one. First of all, Jay White's in the match, so I feel like by default he should win. Like, that's the law of wrestling at this point. But yeah, it's definitely hard to say because Danielson, I feel like as long as he doesn't take the pin, you could always have Briscoe take the pin, because I feel like he didn't do too well in the tournament itself. Yeah, he only had one win, so it's not really going to hurt Danielson going into Wrestle Kingdom or whatever. If it's like he could take a big bump in the match and then he's dealt with, and then it doesn't look bad on him to take the loss or to take the group loss. As long as he just doesn't take the pin, I think he's fine. But I just realized that there's two gigantic men. There's one gigantic man on each team, so I feel like there's going to be a lot of dives.
Yeah.
Because Claudio and Brody, those are two meaty men. And Rush is just going to dive like crazy.
I got like super personally offended when you said Mark could take the pin. I was like,
hey, Daniel Garcia could take the pin because he did he even win a match in the tournament or
Garcia, I can.
I think he maybe won one match.
They both have the same amount of points going into the end.
So Daniel Garcia, either one.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't really want Mark to. He's come into it telling everybody it's like his rookie year, and to take the losses isn't like really that much. Like when you're a rookie, you take L's and blah 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 blah, and it's like his rookie year. I get that, but like, man, stop putting your shoulders down. Stop it. So like, no.
So if we're gonna have a little fisticuffs about Mark Briscoe, I'll just give my little opinion. I feel like Mark's, I don't know, maybe it's just his face, but I feel like he's older. He's been around for a while. If he wants to stay around the lower card, work with younger talent, and be more of what they call like a dad role, let him team with the younger guys, help them discover their characters. I would absolutely love for him to stay there. Let him protect his body a little bit. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be top of the card. But like personally, that's where I kind of see him, is that like, let's help these young guys get some charisma. He's so charismatic naturally.
Who was the first AEW World Champion?
Chris.
How old is he?
I'm just
47 years old.
How long had he been wrestling at the time?
Oh no.
Starting
35 years.
Okay, so how long has Mark Briscoe been wrestling?
I have no idea.
Well, there you go. Eat some crow, man. Eat some crow. He's been doing it a long time, but so is Chris Jericho. I'm just saying.
No,
he may look a little bit older, but he hasn't had a chance to do a singles run. And I feel like as somebody who's put that amount of love and time and effort into that locker room, especially ROH, the people, the way that they talk about him, the way that the talent talks about him, and not just people that are still there, but people who have graduated and left ROH. The man deserves a decent singles run. Now, do I want him to be AEW or ROH World Champion? I don't know. Like ROH World Champion, for sure.
ROH World Champion, I definitely wouldn't disagree.
He's been in that promotion forever. He is a day one of ROH. Do not tell me that Mark Briscoe does not deserve a singles. Do not tell me that he is a lower card, mid card. I will fight you, mister.
Hey. Everybody's important. Everybody's important in the roles, No one's mad that Tyler Breeze never won. Okay, a lot of people are mad that Tyler.
I was just gonna say,
but I have no problem with where people are on the card. Not everyone deserves to be world champ. I just feel like he has something that a lot of people on the a lot of people in the roster don't, and that's just that natural charisma and character. So part of me's like, rub them together, please. Go take Top Flight and Briscoe and just rub them together and see if
the only person that needs something in that group is Andretti. He should have just stayed jobber. When you get a chant of jobber in your very first match and everybody's just chanting jobber, you should have just stayed jobber for a little bit, rode that little wave. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump off on that. Action Andretti's the only one that needs anything in that group.
They're all very young and they all need some more experience.
That's true.
That's all.
But
all right. Back on focus. So now that we were done fighting.
So I actually looked it up.
It's never a fight. It's called the discussion podcast.
Ladies, come on. Let's go back to the club and leave the bathroom.
So I actually looked this up. I was curious
about you.
So Chris Jericho started wrestling in 1990, and Mark Briscoe started wrestling in 2000. So a 10-year difference. but I'm gonna look at it later because I've always wondered why. Like I've never seen Mark Briscoe with teeth. I've never seen him. I was googling it, and one of the things was how did Mark Briscoe lose his teeth? Because I swear I've never seen that man with two front teeth. I've
Right?
never seen him with two front teeth. Uh,
Yeah.
if I had to guess, probably his brother knocked him out in a match. I don't know.
I would imagine so. When they were kids,
Yeah.
some backyard awesome wrestling. You
Look,
know.
statistically, it was probably hockey. That's all I'm gonna say because those are the chances up here.
Yeah. After that, we're going to go into the Continental Classic Finals. It's only fitting to go to the Continental Classic tag, 8-man tag into the Continental Classic Finals. We have the two finalists, John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston, and whoever wins will be the first Triple Crown champion. They'll be ROH champion, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong champion, and the AEW Continental Classic champion. This match, I've got Eddie Kingston winning. As I've mentioned on all the live reactions and stuff, I'm not so big on Moxley's current run right now. I just want to see Eddie Kingston win. Yeah, I got Eddie Kingston.
Mad King for the win. I am a huge Kingston fan. Always have been, always will be. My dog's name is John Moxley, though. Like, it's not obviously I love both of them. As I mentioned before, I really do think that this is a long-term storyline that has been waiting, and like a personal storyline, like an outside of the ring, like John and Eddie were like very, very close. And then when Moxley went and got clean and sober and everything like that, it was just like you don't see them together as much anymore. And I mean, like, even just like the interactions, they're not as frequent, and good or bad. And so I'm really excited to see this because I do feel like Eddie deserves that push, and I'm really hoping that this has been like a whole journey for him. You can really see that he's been putting in like the effort and the time, and everybody said like, you're not really giving it all. Well, he went to Japan and he gave it all, and I really, really do think that he deserves this win. I also don't think that the man would put up the belts if he didn't think that he had, a chance. And I hope he wins. He deserves it.
They're unifying all these titles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Because I was like, what are they even doing with that strong belt right now? That's a whole different story. But yeah, it's got to be Eddie, right? Like the whole Triple Crown thing is an All Japan thing, and that's Eddie loves that stuff. So I feel like this is all sort of built catered to him. So to have it go to John is a little. You never know with American TV, they might just say, "Okay, no, we're changing it." But it's got to be Eddie, right?
I hope so.
It's got to be. Especially coming out of like a Japanese style tournament with a Japanese themed accomplishment at the end. It's definitely got to be Eddie.
Yeah. Regardless who wins, I really want to see that Ring of Honor World Championship back on Ring of Honor.
Yes, please.
Because I can't remember the last time we had probably Claudio and Kingston, the last world title feud we actually had. I could be wrong. Maybe it was Claudio and Pac they had, but there wasn't really a story like Claudio and Kingston was. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Continental Classic finals, and I really want to see a tag team Continental Classic next. Because
they call that tag league is normally the term they use, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
My tag team division AEW is kind of not what it used to be, but I feel like a Continental Classic tag team tournament would be fitting to get it back on track. And teams like, there's a lot of teams injured right now. And now to say that, Lucha Bros aren't available.
Well, there's even like they just had Tag League in New Japan, and they had a team from Ring of Honor, and I was like, who are the Gates of Agony?
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
They're pretty good. I've not, I've never really heard too much about them, but I was like, you have so many little tag teams hidden around this roster. They could do 2 8-team blocks. I'd still have tons of teams left over. But that takes forever. Like when they do it in Japan, it takes the whole month, the month plus. And that's running a show every other day. for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So I don't know if I think the smaller blocks work better for American TV, but they are a lot of fun. I will say that.
I'd be super stoked for it. The next belts that I'm looking for though is the ladies tag. And then I really, really, really want the intergender. I think that's so cool. And you have enough people, and you have enough people who have chemistry together, who've wrestled together in intergender. I mean, Sammy and Tay actually held intergender tag titles. Like, what? Why not? But first and foremost, women's tag. You have the ladies. You have the ladies. Do it. So,
in order for the tag team women's, they really need more women. We need more TV time.
That's true.
3 divisions, like a TBS women's tag. Hopefully, that would force TK to book more women's matches and do more.
I would love that.
He said in a recent interview that he plans to book the women. How did he say it? He said that he wants to book them in more stories and stuff. Yeah, speaking of the women of AEW, we're going to our first women's match on the card. We're going to go with the TBS Championship match. We got the reigning and defending champion Julia Hart versus Abaddon. I'm glad Abaddon is getting used more besides Halloween.
Yes.
I swear,
100%.
This happens a lot, but it just happens a lot here lately. That everything I say on here and on Twitter, Tony Khan ends up doing. I said on here, like literally 2 days before Collision, I said I want to see Abaddon. Like, there's no reason she can't be doing something. I mean, put her in spot, like, do something. And then 2 days later, who shows up on Collision? Abaddon. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't know, but I'm glad to see Abaddon back and being used and tagged. Like, she's in a program every week. But I'm going Julia Hart. I don't think she's losing anytime soon, as she just won it. So I got Julia Hart.
100%. And I have to agree with you. I love Abaddon. I am an avid Abaddon fan. I follow her on Instagram, and she is like my biggest inspiration. She is rocking it so hard. So yeah, no, I really wish, like, in my heart of hearts, I want Abaddon to win. But I do think it'll be Julia. I still am on that whole, like, what's going on with the Thunder? Was that just like a tag of convenience? The Thunder Rosa Abaddon tag, like, I'm assuming. Because yeah, but yeah, probably Julia.
It's got to be Julia, right?
Yeah.
I love Abaddon, but does someone in the back not like her? Like, what? I know she's green, but there's so much there. She's got a unique body shape. She's got a unique gimmick. She's not afraid to, like, spit up blood in the middle. Like,
Yep.
She's just wild. So it's like, why aren't you on TV more? Look, just there's lots of green people on the card. Why can't you be on the card more?
Hell, Marina Shafir is green, and they put her on the card many a times.
I was waiting for the Marina comment. Well, she's better than Marina Shafir. Everybody's better than Marina Shafir. My shoe's better than Marina Shafir.
This is going to be a every episode thing now.
I love it, Connor. I love it. I'm so excited. I wait for it. I really do.
One of these days, she's going to be on this podcast.
Well, let's make a thing of talking positive about Abaddon, okay?
Yeah, Abaddon is from a lot of people would say Jade was the only cross-platform wrestler, but Abaddon could be that too. There's a lot of horror fans.
One of the things I'm very upset with AEW is I look at Abaddon and I go, why haven't you made a made-for-TV movie 60, 70 minutes? Make it $10,000. Make it absolutely the worst movie ever. Make her a horror movie villain. Just put it on Tubi. Who cares? The fans are going to love it, and it's going to give her something, you know?
What was that Kane?
See No Evil.
Yeah,
See, I'm a big fan of. I grew up in the era where there was a lot of made-for-TV movies, and they'd be crappy, and they'd be at your video store for $2. But you'd go home and you'd go, you know what? Sleepaway Camp was kind of good. So why can't they? You know, like, I look at Abaddon and I go, make a Sleepaway Camp with Abaddon. Make a low-budget in the woods horror movie with her.
I would watch it. I love Abaddon.
If AEW gets a streaming deal with Max, that would be a perfect original film to put on there.
And it's like
I
not
would
to
so watch
not to
that.
catch it too far, but it's like, why isn't there a 40-minute Western starring Hangman where he just beats the tar out of people?
Hey,
Like there's so much to this. This is what come on, guys.
Better than the championship run.
do you guys remember the Being the Elite?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
There was the
I miss
BTE.
Being the Elite.
Well, like there was a scene where they had like Toy Story, and like Hangman was the cowboy, and then they had, like they had them all like Toy Story. That would be a funny like mini series or something.
And
Those guys are so creative too.
And low budget stuff is really hot right now. Like there's a big market for crappy low end Sharknado. Everybody knows. Look, we're going out to have a good time. Just make a silly movie. We can have a few beers.
What was the show? Like what was the show that it was on? What was it called? Like you just slap someone and you would win.
The Three Stooges? I don't know.
No, Slap Fight. It was like, they made a whole league. They made a whole league. They made a sport out of slapping each other.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid, but if that can become a thing, then
I watched. I'm sorry. The only guy that I liked from that, they were like, no, you can't. Your eyes buggered up. And then I was like, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. There's no point. I think it's episode 2.
But
see, my favorite slap fighter was Shemp. That was
I like the guy that was like, I eat that.
For everybody older than 45 years old right now.
Yeah,
that's definitely not me.
Yeah, Abaddon is really good. I'm glad they're using her more, and hopefully they continue to use her more.
Please.
I've always thought she's a good cross-platform wrestler. A lot of horror fans would probably watch AEW if they knew about her.
100%.
And she's definitely one of those to use what is it from OSW, she's a girl where it's like you've never won anything major, but everyone adores you.
Like there was one of my friends that he watches AEW, but he didn't know who Abaddon was, and I was watching it, and he said, like, because like he likes Impact, and he saw Su Yung, he liked that horror stuff, and then we were watching AEW, and he saw Abaddon, and then he starts watching AEW because she's on there. Like that's just one of millions of fans that would probably love Abaddon. Like there's a lot of horror fans out there that would kill it to love.
I think it says a lot. I think it says a lot that we've been talking about the whole card, but we've just spent 15, 20 minutes on Abaddon by herself. Like
I love Abaddon.
That's just Tony, come on, listen. Come on.
If you're watching, we want more Abaddon in 2024.
Heck yes. You're the living dead girl. Let's do it.
Yes, it looks like we have 2 more matches left. Next match we have for the AEW Women's Championship, we have the champion Toni Storm versus the challenger Riho. This match, I'm going Toni Storm. I see no reason for her to lose, really. She just won it. Yeah, I'm going Toni Storm.
The only reason I would say Riho is because whenever Riho pops up every once in a while, she kind of like does something significant and then like pops back for a bit. But I would say Toni. But if Riho did win it, I wouldn't be surprised if she held it for like a month or 2 and then piece back out. Like it wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't be like, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Toni Storm. I think that girl's got it all going on right now, and I hated her when she came to AEW, not like as a person, but as a character. And I love Timeless. So
that's the same way I am with Marina Shafir. Everyone watching, I do not hate her as a person. I just do not like her work.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's gotta be Riho. I believe in it. The heart of the cards, all that. It's just like, okay, so if Riho wins, I feel like she's gonna stay for 6 months, something, and we're gonna get a few programs out of her. For some reason, I feel like if she loses, when she loses, we're not gonna get too much out of her, and that kind of disappoints me because every time she pops up, she's amazing because she's amazing. Yeah, but the problem is, if we go and look up the Joshi cards for the next 6 months, is she going to be in Japan in a month? Because if she's already booked, we know what's going to happen.
The only reason I say Tony is because Jamie Hayter is coming back really, really soon. She will be back around Revolution. So I think Tony and Jamie, because Jamie lost the title to Tony Storm and wasn't really a match really because she was injured. They just had her just threw in a match just to get the belt off of her, so they didn't have to do the interim. So I think we're gonna get Tony and Jamie Hayter at Revolution.
I would love that.
Just
I love
my
Hater.
I've been booking Revolution since this year in June or July. I've been really booking. Like I predicted MJF and Adam Cole, Sting's last match, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm. I've already been booking Revolution 2024.
I love it.
Yeah, either way, Rio hasn't. She was the first ever women's champion in AEW. She hasn't won it since the first time. So, yeah,
Very
that
true.
should be a good match. Hopefully, we get one more 0-hour match and we have 3 women's matches on the card. I know Rampage is tonight, so maybe they announce some more 0-hour matches, maybe 1 or 2. Yeah. When we move on to the final match, it is the main event of World's End. It is the challenger. I'm going to put the champion at last. Got the challenger Samoa Joe and the AEW World Champion and longest reigning AEW World Champion Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. And that's what I'm going for, MJF.
I'm gonna go for MJF. I'm gonna say Daddy MJF. If he loses, I'm gonna be very sad. Although, like watching this whole like protective Mama Bear Samoa Joe thing this entire time has been absolutely stunning. I've loved it. I've loved every moment of it. I love his little like, no, you can't touch that. It's mine. That's been going on, and I'm really sad to see it end. But yeah, I really hope that MJF wins. Although, having like Samoa Joe drop the title and everything like that, the TV title, and be like, I'm coming for it, it'd be neat. But like, if MJF loses, I will legitimately cry. So I hope we have a live reaction for tomorrow, because you guys might get to see me legitimately bawl like a little baby on TV. So. Hopefully MJF.
See, if MJF loses, I will cry happy tears.
Most people do. I love him.
See, MJF is one of those. He's one of my controversial wrestling opinions. I'm not a big fan of MJF.
A lot of people aren't, though.
I like him in ring. I like his character work, but I'm one of those wrestling fans that doesn't like promos. Like, I know that's a weird thing to say, but when I see MJF, I go, here's 15 minutes. We have to sit and listen to this guy talk.
I love to
He's a great talker, but part of me is like, I think I gotta catch a bus. Like, can we just wrestle? Like, just speed it up. I think I get flashbacks to like the Authority era of WWE, where it's like we're gonna get a 20-minute Triple H promo that doesn't relate to anything that's for the rest of the show, and I'm gonna tear my hair out. Like, I totally understand that I might be in the fringe when I say that opinion, but I just want the title off him. I don't know why. I just have this passion of like, Joe, please be the fighting champ that we know you can be, and stop cutting long promos and stop it with the backstage. Like,
I think at this we're gonna get the devil because who's the person that told him you have to team up with Joe? It's Adam Cole. He told him to team up with him.
And there is a decent theory on who the 2 new tag team champs are.
Yeah, some people said it could be FTR, but I'm going to Kingdom.
So the rumor I read is they observed that the people were of a skinnier stature, the people who won the belts. So there's a theory that it might be Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know if there's any validity to that.
Red Dragon.
But they are slightly connected to Adam Cole, right? Like, they have that relation. So if it is Adam Cole, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch that his 2 good buddies are the tag team champs. So now you'll have him and the tag champs.
I want to see Red Dragon back. I wanted to see them as AEW tag champions. Didn't happen. I want to see them as trios champions. I want to see the Undisputed Elite versus the Elite. It's one match I've always wanted, never got it because two people got injured, and then
And it was like contracts came up. It just didn't click at the right time.
like that was one of the matches that I was going to. I went to All Out 2022 hoping to see that match. Well, not just for that match, but I was looking forward to that. Then
Yeah.
and Kenny he got injured for a little while. Then Adam Cole got injured for a while. Then Bobby Fish, where's the lie in that? And then Kyle O'Reilly got injured, and then the whole shebang went to hell. But hopefully, hopefully that's real. I'm not gonna get my hopes up on that though, because I'm not gonna be that fan that says,
Alleged. These are alleged rumors that
Yeah.
we are not journalists. We are idiots on the internet just spouting
Yeah.
opinions.
But that would be awesome if that was Red Dragon.
And there's always a
I'm gonna
potential
run
of it being another huge name that they've signed because Tony does love. We got another big name. We got another big name.
I know who it
So you-
could be. Disco Inferno and
this guy.
and Vince Russo. That's gonna be your ROH tag team. That's not happening, but
More dancing gimmicks. That's what we need in wrestling.
hey, like a lot of this come from stuff wasn't really that top notch, but his TNA promos were kind of good. They wouldn't fly these days for the stuff he
No.
said. They wouldn't fly, but it was entertaining what he did in TNA for somewhat. But yeah, I think the devil is Adam Cole. I'm thinking storyline wise, he wasn't injured, but in real life, he actually is injured. I think that's where they're going to play it off that he wasn't injured, but he really was injured. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think because there's no pay per view in January or February, so it gives 2 months for Adam Cole to wrestle at Revolution. He's like all he does is make appearances till Revolution, go out to the match, and then he wrestles, and then he wins.
No, I totally agree. I would love for the devil to be Adam Cole, and I mean, I know that they've been prolonging it. I feel, and I feel it's because it's Adam Cole. Like you're right there. But that heat seeker that they did in the ring, I think it was Mr. Jacobs who pointed
Yeah,
it
he
out.
pointed it out. Yeah, the heat seeker.
Yeah, it was like, and like they've really been leading towards it from the beginning. Like with the mask in his locker. It was not very subtle in the beginning. And now it's like they're trying to find like new ways to like show it, but not like directly show it, you know, but like it could be this person. I really love that. I feel like there's very few things left in pro wrestling today that you can be like, I honest to goodness do not know. Well, like I don't know, and I feel like this is one of those, like, because it obviously we're all like Adam Cole, but like if it was anybody else under there and they had something to make it work, all of us would still be like, oh, okay, like everybody's still speculating. They're still speculating, like, and then you got the whole like gaggle of gimps. Like, who are they? You know?
Yeah.
So I love it. I think it's been really good for wrestling fans.
And I think there is a certain logic where if the person who, let's say it's a completely new name, let's say for some reason it's Seth Rollins, just
like
I think that would be a big enough name that if there was a little fumbling in the story, people would go, yeah, it's Seth Rollins. Yeah. Like, who cares about whoever the tag team guys are? We got Seth Rollins, you know, like it'll work. If it's the right person, it'll just click and people will say, yep, I'm fine with that. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's probably 100% not Seth Rollins. Let's be clear. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, no.
Hey, it could be Tyler Black though.
That would be great.
Technically, they're two different people. Like John Moxley and Dean Ambrose is two different people. They're not the same
100%.
person.
No, 100%.
But yeah, that pretty much concludes our World's End predictions. But we have a little, as we do every episode of AEZ Canada, try to do a little something of AEW, and after that do something different, whether it's a our favorite eras or stuff like that. But Paul is going to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom, I believe.
Speaking of my favorite era, it's modern wrestling right now. Yeah, so for those, I'm going to come at this like the people who are listening are not New Japan fans or they're unfamiliar with New Japan or what's going on. So coming up is Wrestle Kingdom, and that is their WrestleMania equivalent. So the whole year is building up to this big arena show, Tokyo Dome, massive deal. I think it's Wrestle Kingdom 18, so it's not as impressive as what Mania 40 or whatever they're at, but 18 years. I don't think I've done anything for 18 years. So just going down the card, I'll just go down quickly and kind of explain who's who and the importance of kind of matches. Right at the beginning, they're gonna have what they call a Rambo. It's just gonna be a Rumble. It's like, think of the Royal Rumble with no stakes. It's just gonna be a bit of fun. You're probably gonna see some old guys. You're like, there was a lot of Ring of Honor people a few years ago. Like, you're gonna see a lot of old faces, new faces, whatever. It's normally a bit of a laugh. You can miss it if you don't like. It's not a big deal if you miss it. A lot of hardcore fans kind of go, not too worried about it. It's mostly for like just kind of fill some time in the pre-show. Next on the card. Okay, so we have Francesco Akira and TJP against Drilla Mahoney and Clark Connors. Clark Connors and Drilla Mahoney are like the young guys from Bullet Club. These are the vicious young chavs that will do anything to anyone in their way. They're coming in hot as the champion team. They're just absolutely destroying people. It's magnificent. Akira and TJP are like the young guys 5 years ago. So there's a bit of this, like, we can still keep up. We still got it. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a clean cut wrestler versus like, we're going to throw you into chairs. We're going to throw tables on you. Where's the monitors? We're going to hit you with that. So that's going to be, I think, an absolute fun tag team match. And they're kind of known for starting the event off hot with like, these are all young guys. So they're all going to come out hot and they're all going to be very, very entertaining. Up next is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. I feel like Zack Sabre's name has gotten out there in the community. A lot of people know him. He's fighting basically Japanese Shawn Michaels. Older guy on his way out. He's probably going to lose this. That's just my bet. That's just my feeling, but that's going to be probably a shorter epic. Young guy versus old guy. The next match, you guys can cut me off with any questions you may have. I feel like I'm ranting, but if that's what you want, that's good. The next match is Yota Tsuji versus Yuya Uemura. I don't know how to kind of explain this except for pretend you're in a dating sim. Yota Tsuji is the guy picking you up on a date on a motorcycle in a leather jacket. He's going to take you to the coolest bars. He's going to be the hippest dude, but he's got an edge. He's dangerous. Yuya Uemura is more, this guy's going to pick you up in a limo and take you to the nicest clubs, and he's going to wear the nicest suits. So they're both young. They both want to prove themselves, but they kind of clash a little bit. So this is going to be the like two college athletes going, it's my turn. This is my turn. So I have a lot of faith in that match to be one of the best matches just out of that. Quickly. Okay, so the next match, Kaito Kiyomiya, Shota Umino versus Evil and Ren Narita. Yes, there is a wrestler literally named Evil, and he is amazing. But this is going to be the like, Evil and Ren are part of House of Torture, and that's a very Memphis style wrestling. Lots of weapons, lots of themed weapons. They like spitting whiskey at each other.
Hey, I'm from Memphis. I can testify to that.
There you go.
Well, the guy who books actually is a big fan of Jerry Lawler and stuff. So if you watch some of the Evil matches, you'll see a little bit of that influence. But they're basically going up against two young, super hot baby faces.
Like I went to side story. I went to a showing time, and the stipulation was the fans bring the weapons in Memphis. So
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and House of Torture is sort of like that. One guy has a garrote, one guy has a wrench, one guy has a bottle of whiskey that he'll either like spit at you or hit you with. They all have themed weapons, and it's all very nonsense. Pull you out of the ring, throw you into the timekeeper's table, all that stuff. But yeah, they're basically fighting like two of the newest, youngest stars. Shota Umino is the fella John Moxley took under his wing for a little bit. So some people may know him from that classic picture of Moxley holding up this kid and the kid being just completely out. I have a feeling that that's going to be a fun kind of bully match. It's not going to be the best, but it's going to be extremely, all these matches are going to be extremely entertaining. But the next match is the Never Openweight Championship match. This, for people who don't know, is probably going to be the two big lads beating the tar out of each other match. Tama Tonga is a big Polynesian fella, lots of muscles, very athletic. Shingo Takagi's more stout, and they're just going to beat the absolute tar out of each other. And that's my prediction for that match. 25 minutes of nothing but forearms and just stiff clotheslines and all that. It's going to be nonsense. It's going to be amazing. The next tag team match is going to be a little bit more of that traditional match because Yoshihashi and Goto are actually two of the older people on the card, going to like almost 40, I think a little bit over 40. Everyone else is like 35, 38 and under. So it's the two older champions versus the two younger champions. And that's the way I'm kind of coming into this match is, are the old guys going to stay dominant, or are the two young guys going to come in, finally get that big win and that rocket that they deserve? Okay, so there are only a couple matches left. I'll try to speed up. The next match, the Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Hiromu Takahashi versus El Desperado. To say this as easy as possible, these are two of the greatest junior heavyweight wrestlers in the world, and they're probably going to get 30-35 minutes to just go ham. So I can't recommend this enough. These guys have wrestled lots of times. They know each other very intimately, and it's probably going to be the best match. There's a slight feeling that they're going to just steal the whole show. All right, finally, some Americans. The global heavyweight champion in an odd three-way match that doesn't really happen in Japan. Will Ospreay, John Moxley, David Finlay. I feel like everybody knows Will Ospreay and John Moxley at this point. I don't need to explain. David Finlay is the young, new, hip bad guy in Bullet Club. He's trying to be Kenny Omega, and he's not doing the best job so far. So there's a bit of fun in this match where, in theory, Finlay should just win. He's the big bad guy, but he's not doing too well. Mox and Will are definitely better wrestlers than he is. They're definitely more experienced than he is. So it's hard to say. Rumor is that, oh yeah, Will Ospreay, not even rumor. He's contract. He's now with AEW, right? So statistically speaking, he's probably going to lose this. You never know, but that's probably going to be up there with match of the night. The good thing about the next match is I don't have to say much because I believe we've seen it twice already. Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Danielson.
Solid match.
What's there to say? It's Okada and Danielson.
I think Bryan Danielson walks out injured again.
If Meltzer doesn't rate this 6 stars, something's horribly wrong. It's at the Tokyo Dome. It's the semi-main event. It's Bryan Danielson in Japan. This is going to be, hands down, it's going to be their best match. And their matches have been amazing. So it's definitely like a hard thing to claim, but I have nothing but faith it's going to be the best. The good thing about the main event is it's really easy to explain. So, World Heavyweight Championship match. The challenger is Tetsuya Naito. He's been a wrestling god in Japan, in New Japan, for the last 10 years. And he's been champion multiple times. He's the coolest of the cool. He's the baddest of the bad. But he's beat up. He's old. But he's never got that real big win. Like he's never got that Mania win, right? He's never got that Wrestle Kingdom win. So you have two sides of the story. Either Naito is finally going to get his swan song out, whatever. That was hard to say. He's finally going to get his moment, and then he can bow out gracefully into the sunlight. Or Sonata, who's always been the guy riding the coattails. He's always been there, but not quite. So you have, it's basically the past versus the future. I know that might be a butchering and over explanation, but Sonata's never had a big win. This is his first time with the championship belt. Naito's had it like 7 times. So a lot of people are coming into this going, well, duh, Naito's going to win and get his moment. And other people are coming out going, well, duh, New Japan has to set a precedent of this new era of New Japan. Young talent, new era, we're moving forward. So I think that is like story-wise might be the most important story in all of Wrestle Kingdom. And hopefully that wasn't 37 minutes of me ranting.
No, the Bryan Danielson match is probably going to be the most anticipated. I feel like he hasn't wrestled at the Tokyo Dome. Has he ever wrestled at the Tokyo Dome?
No, I don't believe so. He might have done a couple smaller shows, but I think his whole career was mostly America, and then he got into WWE when it was no, he did it some Dragon Gate. I believe, but we're talking literal 20 years ago, I think. So it's been at least 2 decades since he stepped foot in Japan in a professional level, I think.
Yeah. For the New Japan fans, New Japan and Wrestle Kingdom is January 4th, I believe. It's always in that January, the beginning of January slot.
It's always January 4th. They did the 2-day event, I think 2 years ago. It worked for that event, and then they went back to having 1 day, because personally a 2-day, it's like 8 hours each day, 2 days in a row. That's a nightmare to watch. And I like, this is going to be a long show. Like Mania is always a 4 or 5 hour show, 4 or 5 hour, long show. But they're not trying to cram everyone on the card, which I appreciate. Whoever's on has a point. If you don't have a point, you're going to be in the Rambo in the beginning. There's no, why didn't FTR get it? There's no why didn't they. In story, they explained it. You only get so many matches. It's like, thank God.
Yeah, there is that. This will be released, as we always do, Saturdays at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We possibly might be doing an AEW World's End live reaction. I would say 80% we're going to do one. 80% we'll do one. Coming up is our Rampage live reaction. You guys would have already seen that by now, so maybe I announced it in an hour, so maybe I did. I don't know. Past me right now and future me will be in an hour. So maybe I already announced it. World's End looks really, really good. For New Japan wrestling fans out there, I know Wrestle Kingdom looks good. I know some of those people. I know Okada. I know Danielson. Zack Sabre Jr. isn't on the card, is he?
He is fighting Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yep, that's right.
And that I'm not going to say it's going to be the best, but if I could highlight a match for new people to watch, I would say watch that one. Tanahashi is literal wrestling god. His nickname is the Ace of the Universe. transcends everything. He is the greatest. And Zach, everyone knows Zach for his technical skills. He's been on AEW. He's done a lot of Brit stuff. I'm like that. I feel like that if you're gonna dip your toe in, that's the match to dip your toe in for.
Yeah, we'll be back next Saturday for AEZ Canada. We'll probably be back for our Dynamite review, and then we'll do a discussion like we did just now with New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom. Leave in the comments if you guys have any wrestling discussions you would like to see us discuss, whether it be AEW or I don't know, WWE or like whatever it may be. Leave in the comments.
More Stardom.
Yeah.
Don't say that, please.
I would not be fit for that because I don't know anyone from Stardom. Well, I did. I knew Kairi Sane, but she's not there anymore.
It's good wrestling, but it's a league. It's a new league. There's so much to learn when getting into a new company.
Yeah. Definitely in the comments if you guys have any discussions you'd like to for us to discuss, past, present,
or future.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, we are having an interview January 19th with ECW legend the Blue Meanie. He is BWO member. Hopefully, well, possibly. I want to try to get all three of them on. It might not be possible, but it's a possibility it may happen. But Blue Meanie is definitely coming on January 19th, an hour before Rampage, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Does anyone else got anything before we close out?
No, I just want to say thank you again, Connor, for having me. I totally appreciate you having me on the team. And I want to say that listening to you talk about New Japan was only half as entertaining as a 20-minute MJF promo. Boom.
Which means it was extremely entertaining. See, thank you. I like this group. Everyone's so positive.
Things do get heated on here sometimes, but
I say everything with love. I worked in customer service for like 15 years. I can handle anything with a smile.
It's professional wrestling. Like if you're coming into this taking it seriously, you're in the wrong line of work.
Exactly.
That's what we try to do. On like everyone has different opinions, and we try to. Everyone's not going to the same thing, but we don't have to take it personal.
No, you got to keep it fun. Keep it light.
We've had a few problems with that in the past on here. We got to make some adjustments as if anyone watching knows. I'm not going to get into that.
Oh, no.
But that's what we're thriving to do.
Yeah, you got to keep it fun.
Of course, we get into heated arguments, but that doesn't mean we have to legit hate on each other as a person.
No.
Yeah.
Unless we're talking about Disco Inferno, because if anyone says anything bad about him, I'm going to snap. No, I'm joking. That was a full... You guys can say whatever you want about Disco Inferno. Just don't say anything bad about Disco.
Yeah. We'll be back. This will be out Saturday, so possibly we'll be doing a AEW World's End live reaction. Then we'll be back for our Dynamite reaction Wednesday, Talking League Thursday. Yeah, definitely check out all the links in the description below: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Spotify, and we're now on TikTok. It's a new thing that we started. We're on there. Links are all in the description below for that. And we also have a AEZ Daily on the YouTube channel as well. That the same videos are on both TikTok and our AEZ Daily, but basically every day a random person from the AEZ podcast, like Adam did something with a fantasy bracket, and then today Siren did the it was the World's End. It was the World's End, like the matches you're most looking forward to. Like every day there's something new. We had Prince Nana dance in there one time. Chris did his 2024 New Year's resolutions. So every day you never know what you'll see. Yeah, and definitely subscribe down below. We're at 492. Our goal is 500 before the year's over with. We're probably going to get there really soon, and if we get there before the year's over with, Mark will have to do the Prince Nana dance. So
I want to see it.
We're not too far away from 500. Yeah, we will see you guys next Saturday for a brand new episode of AEZ Canada.